Hi, today we're going to be working on something I hardly ever do, which is windswept style. Now this is not just windswept style, but this is a semi-cascade windswept style. I love semi-cascade, I have a decent feeling for them, but the windswept style is something that's not really familiar bonsai practice for me. So what I'm going to be doing is seeing how I can do it on this little juniper. It's already got the cascade, semi-cascade set into place, and it's really healthy. It's got a lot of new foliage, so it's ready to do this work. Let's see. So windswept style, it has a direction, which is a little bit different than what I'm used to, because I'm used to being able to turn the bonsai whichever way I want to display it, and then have that be pretty good looking. So that will be a definite challenge for me with the mindset on this. By definition, the wind being directional will make this a directional piece. So that'll be interesting for me. I'm going to be able to turn this in two different directions, so I guess I'll have to just live with that. Right now the pot is just a temporary pot. I was just getting it into this size because I had the intention of planting this on a rock or something else in spring. So this is going to be I think this is going to be the angle that it's going to be at, but let's figure out which way the wind's going to blow. So the wind's going to blow from where I am out. These branches are going to come down and then go back up a little bit, because branches are going to want to find the foliage is going to want to find the sun. So really that's what I'm going to do is basically some detail wiring on this. I'm not going to be doing any major trunk movement. Yeah, I'm comfortable with where most of these things are. I'm going to be moving some of these up just a little bit, but not really that much. So I'm going to start with some wiring, and then we'll start placing. Okay, at this point I've wired the entire tree, and it's gotten hot in here. A little bit above 100 degrees in here today. So let's get this done, because it's too hot for me. That's why I moved up to the Pacific Northwest, is I don't really care for that amount of heat. I was originally from Northern California, the Central Valley of Northern California near Redding, and it would just be hot all summer long. Not quite for me. So anyways, let's get this going. So this is going to be a windswept semi-cascade. Let's see how this goes. So what I was hoping to have happen is that the branches would cascade down some before turning back up. So I'm imagining that the wind is picking these back directionally one way, and the foliage is trying to grow out and up towards the sun. So I already got the downward growth going. Normally what I would work on first on any bonsai would be the lowest branches first, but since this is going to be going upwards, if I turn the low branches upwards before I get the upper branches upwards, I'm going to bump into everything with those lower branch. So like if the branch was here and I take this one, and so yeah, that's my problem. So I'm going to start by styling some of the upper branches first. Now I'm going to think of this more in the terms of they're growing in all sides and in all directions, but on the side where the wind is blowing from, they're having an issue growing on the windward side. So they're actually growing out away from it. It's not that the wind is blowing them that way, that's just the way that they're able to grow without getting dried out. Alright, so I'm going to start with this side of the tree out. Now that is a funky top branch, but that's kind of going to be something that's a feature that I think will make it look pretty cool. Alright, there's one. I gotta say, doing this different style that I'm not used to is kind of fun. It kind of makes everything with bonsai feel a little bit exciting and new when you're trying some new stuff. Even though I've been doing this for many, many years, I still find things that are new to me. That way I always feel like I'm learning something, which is really something that I enjoy. I've always enjoyed learning things from books and things that I watch. So bonsai has really struck my fancy because there are some good books out there, and there's more and more YouTube channels to watch nowadays. So some cool stuff. What I'm doing with the back ends of these branches is I'm clipping those a little bit closer, and I'm leaving the leading edges a little bit longer. Some of this you could do just by grasping the foliage and pulling on it. Okay, most of that top is done now. It took a little while because this is detail wiring and trimming. But I do like how when I turn it, it does have some cool looks from multiple angles. And that is something that I really need to have in my bonsai. I don't like directional bonsai that only look good from one side. So actually, if I'm looking over it, I actually have like a volleyball sized top to it. Something like that. It's pretty big. Okay, now I've cleared the path on this top section. I can start working on this bottom branch. This bottom branch is going to follow the same pattern as the top, which goes down and then comes back up. Except this bottom branch is actually already going down almost as much as I want it to go. Some of these I bent down a little more. I'm not going to do quite so much with that one. Well, I'm not sure about that lowest branch, but it's not too bad. I got lots of sides here. Of course, the wind only blows from the one side, and I'm not honestly feeling it, but that's okay. This might not wind up being a windswept bonsai, because I just haven't really messed with that before. But then again, it might really grow into a windswept bonsai. Might turn out to be alright. Alright, so if you were to say there was a front, this would probably be the front of the tree. I think that back needs to be just a little bit shorter. So see if I could pull that in just a little bit. Alright, that back is pulled in just a little bit. Maybe not a windswept bonsai. If it was growing on a cliffside, I'm not sure. Maybe it would work. I think what I'll continue to do is work on the trimming of this plant. I really like it from this angle right here. This angle that you're looking at, I would say this, most people would think this is a side, like the left side of the tree. I may display it quite a bit with it facing straight out to somebody. Side angles are definitely elongated, these long sides. The back looks pretty cool too, if you would call this a back. It's one of the other sides. I'm digging it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this restyle. This is a juniper. It's called Old Gold Juniper. I've had it for, I don't know, 3 years or something like that. I've done some bending on it on the thick parts, and I've done one wiring session. This is the second one. It's kind of a slightly different style based on a suggestion I got off of my Instagram account. One of the users on there said, hey, how about a windswept style bonsai for that one? Sure. I love learning. So here you go. Loosely a windswept semi-cascade. You know what? I don't really have a preference for what I'm going to call it. This is a bonsai that is going to look cool, and I'm going to display it a bunch, and I'm going to enjoy it. So there you go. Enjoy your bonsai, and thank you for watching.